Welcome, everybody, to episode 5 of the Between Two Tales podcast. My name is Kevin. I'm joined by my co-host, Dave. We're on episode 5 now, pumping these out. This will probably be the last episode of 2022, so that's pretty cool. If you're new here, Dave, why don't you tell the newbies here what we do on the show?
Yes, for all of you who are new, what we're going to do is take a generator that will generate 5 random words and then create a story using those words. Now, in order to make things a little bit more difficult on us, we are giving ourselves a timer for 1 hour and 30 minutes to come up with this story. And that when we're done with the story, we'll read it back to you. And then we'll generate an AI story and with the same 5 generated words, and then see who comes up with or what comes up with the better story.
Yeah, so if you're new to AI tools and stuff, there's a new tool called ChatGPT that's taking over the world. You can write code for you, write stories, blah, blah, blah. And you can tell it to do stuff or write like certain things. So we've been, just for fun, after we generate our story, we just type in, give the same prompt to the AI bot and see if it can generate something better. And so far, we're on episode 5. We haven't lost yet. So it looks like Dave and I are going to continue keeping our jobs as writers for the time being. So let me share my screen, and then we could generate our words for today. Okay.
Let me go ahead and get our timer ready. So as soon as we generate those words, the timer will begin.
All right. 1 spin. Everyone knows the rules. All right. We've had some pretty interesting words. I just took one glance at this, and it already looks pretty interesting here too. So we have session, canvas, vegetable, swipe, and grind.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right. Oh man, I have a dark, humorous mind, and I just thought about something, but
So let's hear it.
I don't think it would make for a good story. I guess it could turn into a traumatic one too. Let's see. All right. So there's this guy who's just desperate to go out on a date. So he lives on Tinder. He lives on these dating apps. So he's just swiping all day. That's his grind, just swiping. He's built bots. He's built an AI bot to swipe for him. That's how much he needs a date right now. And he comes across one girl, and something happens. They go on an adventure. They go on a date. Something happens during the date, and something horrible happens to her, and she gets turned into a vegetable. Either through a magic spell, an actual vegetable, or, she's in a coma. So now, he has to spend all these sessions because he feels bad, because it's probably his fault. He has to spend all these sessions with her, and he paints her on a canvas. I don't know. I'm just mashing up all these words just to get the juices going.
It's funny with that painting her on the canvas. I'm kind of made me think of Titanic.
Yeah.
Because the way I see it, the most obvious one is like, or more commonly used canvas is like, what you paint on. You could have a tent made with like a canvas material or something like that. But I think swipe. Let's say for canvas, we'll do some kind of painting. Grind. I'm trying to think for grind. I feel like there's stuff that you can grind into a paste for the purpose of paint.
You remember that Kid's Tale Veggie Tales? Or that kids show Veggie Tales?
I remember the show.
Alright, so this is the adult version of Veggie Tales. These vegetables, this broccoli is on Tinder, and they go on a date in the kitchen, and his date gets grinded up into a smoothie or a breading or whatever.
Go ahead. Yeah, and you can take that, and let's say if it's like some kind of vegetable, it gets grinded up into something, and then you can paint that on a canvas.
Exactly. I got an even better one, just going off our theme of stories, since we have been leaning more towards the darker side. Usually, it's a vegetable serial killer. Except in this world, he's not murdering people; he's murdering other vegetables, and he kills these vegetables, grinds them up into a paste, which he turns into paint, and he's like an artist in this world. So he uses the paint made out of the remains of his victims to create these masterpieces.
I'm with you on this, and pretty much, yeah. I started to think something similar too, where it's like, well, these can be its session, and um, it's used as like a token of like to remember its crime.
Yeah.
You know, the only thing is, so that honestly takes care of grind, vegetable, canvas, and session. We have the word swipe in there too.
Yeah, so how he finds his
Murderous
victims is he swipes. He swipes on vegetable tinder. Let's see, what can we call vegetable tinder? I don't know. I'm sure it'll come. But anyway, we just got done another serial killer story last week, so I don't know if we want to make another one.
Did we have a serial killer story last week?
Yeah, it was the auntie, her husband was a serial killer and judge.
Yeah, okay. But they weren't necessarily the main character. I think with something like this, you ever seen the movie Sausage Party?
No, I haven't. I heard of it.
Yeah, you could take it into a more comedic route.
Right.
Okay. So the Tinder version for this could be like I don't know why, but it could either be called like red onion. That sounds kind of hot. It could be eggplant,
and peach.
All right. So let's come. So we have a. This is kind of like Dexter almost, because now we're saying we're telling it from the serial killer's point of view. But here's the thing: I just want to say, since we're doing a departure from real life and it's a vegetable and all this other stuff, it could also be. It doesn't have to be a murderous plot either. It could be anything.
No, it doesn't.
You know, the only thing is working in like, it could be basically someone who's like a painter, well, a vegetable as a painter. We're conducting these sessions, and then we can put anything we want to give it some bones of like it could be a love story, Kevin. It doesn't have to be a murderous story. It could be like The Notebook.
A love story that ends in tragedy.
Most do, but
so are we actually going to roll with making vegetable characters? So. All right.
Yeah, why not? I think.
All right. We like pushing ourselves to the limits anyway. See what we come up with. So vegetable people.
Yeah, because we never made anything with vegetable people before.
No, absolutely not.
So
right.
Okay. Hey. Okay. Well, hold on. With this idea. There's a movie, I haven't seen it yet, but from what I gather, it's about, it's called The Menu. It's getting great ratings. What I gather it's about like a person who runs a restaurant on this like island or some kind of remote area. And the guests that show up have to like survive or else they get turned into part of the menu. Like they get.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's currently out. It's currently out. So obviously it's a mystery, it's a horror, mystery, and thriller, right?
Yeah.
So you take an idea like that. So like the main chef is also like the game runner. Yeah, it's kind of like the type of idea. It comes from a book a long time ago. I can't remember, but just on the island, they're trying to survive and not become the next course on the menu. And I take it that they force people to come back in and eat the next menu course. And since we're doing vegetables in this kind of way, I think that format lends itself pretty well. So like they're on a game show or some kind of something, and then they all come together thinking that it's going to be like they're being tricked by the fruits. The vegetables are being tricked by the fruits.
What if it's like a vegetable Squid Games?
Yeah, it's pretty much something like that. Like you taking the game aspect of it.
And you know how in Squid Games that guy comes up to the main character and like plays the rock paper scissors or slap with him, right?
Yeah.
So maybe that's how. So that person is basically I don't know what they call it, like the curator of players for the Squid Games. So maybe that's how our character meets said curator. He swipes on her and matches with her on Red Onion, and then she's like, "Do you want to play a game?" and then gasses them out and takes them to this remote area where other contestants have been involuntarily forced to be there, and then now it's a Squid Games, and then which
they think they're going to use this app maybe for dating or for something else, but it's just like this little way to get people into the game, and some of them will be selected. Like other vegetables are on the app would say, like
it's how moderators. You know how there's fake profiles on Tinder and all that anyway. So that's how all these moderators trick these veggies and fruits into playing their sick game.
Okay, I'm with this. And it makes sense too, because they think they're going to go on a date or something like this, and that's how they go out, and then they get like kidnapped or something like this, or whatever, and then they have to end up on this game show.
Now, if we translate what happens in Squid Games to vegetable Squid Games, I'm imagining this when they play the tug of war. In Squid Games, the losing team just gets pulled off of the edge, and they all die. So they get pulled right into a grinder.
Okay, so they get pulled over the edge. The grinder's right there, and then the boiling hot water. That's right. They go straight into the soup.
Exactly, and the mastermind behind all the vegetable games is just some guy who's obsessed with painting, and he just paints.
He paints the brutal scenes of them losing into.
Yeah, he paints the violent images.
Yeah.
Of the day, and a plot twist. He's not a vegetable; he's a rabbit. Oh man, this might be our weirdest story yet, but we're gonna make it a good one.
Oh, it's definitely a weird one, but it's funny. I like it. Okay, the main mission, pretty much, is to survive,
win the Squid Games, take down the mastermind,
win the games, and learn who the mastermind is. They might not be able to take them down, but they can learn who it is. Okay, interesting. This is a crazy story already, but it's okay. Let's get some like main characters almost.
What type of vegetable is our main character?
An avocado.
Let's see. I think he should be a hated vegetable. Everyone likes avocados.
I know some people that don't. Broccoli.
Yeah, he should be a broccoli or celery. Celery is a pretty useless vegetable. It's like 98% water. Or a piece of cabbage.
Broccoli is like the perfect imagery because it has that stem, like a tree, and it has everything that branches out. Those where the eyes can be and so on. Or that's the hair.
Yeah.
Well, let's just roll. Well, we need a few characters here.
We need a handful of characters.
It'll be our main. It should be like a Miss Broccoli, and then we'll have a cabbage character. Why not?
I think someone should be a carrot.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
The carrot, whoever the carrot is, that's like the token dumb person in the group.
Cabbage should be like militant.
Militant cabbage. That would be funny.
They still like they're like out for themselves in a sense. Like they want to survive and not help anyone.
Right.
Which leads to his downfall.
That's right. All right, I'm getting a bunch of crazy ideas around the story now. I mean, the world now. Where these games are taking place, it just has to happen on a farm. That way, we could just utilize all the tools around it as like obstacles and traps and stuff.
Right, and you have all sorts of fun machinery that can hurt.
That's right, and animals too. They're part of the games.
Yeah.
All right, so we got broccoli, carrot, cabbage. I don't know why, but I feel like we should have like a Mexican tomato.
You can also put onion. I feel like that's a pretty popular vegetable.
Yeah, we do need an onion. How many characters is that? Is that 4 or 5? Broccoli,
2, 3, 4, 5.
Cabbage, carrot, onion. I mean, we'll have an avocado in there. 5.
If we do the tomato, 6 with the avocado.
What, 6?
We could just let that kind of sit and kind of integrate them. Because there'll be other versions of these same vegetables, maybe, or other vegetables in general. But we don't have to get that specific for this. And then, of course, we have are animals. Our animals probably can't interact with them other than like to harm.
No,
I can't talk. I can't talk to them.
No, the animals are just part of like the death traps. Like
Right.
I don't know,
Yeah.
like they're jumping
Sometimes
on.
they have to eat too. You know.
Yeah, so like they're jumping on stuff, and there's like a ravenous pack of pigs at the bottom, just waiting for a vegetable to fall down so they can eat them. All right,
Cool.
So we have the six. I mean, Squid Games had like 40 people in it. We have like a small.
Well, we'll treat it kind of like this menu idea for like this film where it's a select group. So is Squid Games, but it's just a smaller amount of folks just for the game, and that's okay. All right. So now, kind of obstacles and conflicts that this thing has to run into. I think we can. I mean, look, there's going to be different things that has to survive. So we can kind of talk about what obstacles are going to be. So we have like tug of war.
Yeah, death tug of war, definitely. There needs to be like some platforming game, like they jump on stuff.
Yeah, but it could be a platform, and then once it like if say it's the wrong one, it just like falls, and then into the pig's pen you go.
Exactly. Exactly.
Pig's pen.
That's right. Let's see.
And like again, if we feel like we need more, we could just have like we just call it the vegetables for now. You know, other vegetables. That's one of our more specific vegetables are going up and end up dying or something. Expend Civil War should be like Manhunt, but with shivs. Yo, one of them should be dropping into like a juicer.
Oh,
you know, because the tug of war goes into a grinder and then a soup.
There should be like there should be like a maze, like a death maze. That's like built around some kind of principle, like the mastermind is trying to test their greed or something, and if kind of like now it's becoming like Saw pretty much. So if the participant falls,
this is where I was gonna say this is where cabbage passes, right? This is one this person's thing, his vegetables thing is like doesn't want to help anyone, and the maze like you have to be able to work together to survive.
Yeah, so maybe there's like a greedy option where it's the easy way out, but the consequences you have to abandon everyone on your team. He takes that option and then he falls into a trap door leading right into a juicer, the chute of a juicer. It gets turned into cabbage juice. Some V8.
Okay. All right. Now we had Little War, platform game, or Pig's Pen, and Death Maze.
Death Maze with booby traps in it.
Right.
There's knives coming down.
You know, and that's probably also like a bit of a race. You know, first one out is saved for the next game or something, or just saved. It's not a race.
Yeah, or we can remake the the iconic red light, green light in Squid Games in the beginning, where if people who get caught moving, they get an instrument of death on them.
Tool drops down with blades or something. Yeah, we can run with 4.
All right.
And I think red light, green light. I think the order of it matters. Like Pig's Pen, which is basically the platform game, could be first.
Yeah. Well, we have to give them a game where they don't know the consequences yet, and it just seems playful. They don't know that it's going to be dangerous. So maybe like, what is the most decent looking game out of all the ones? And we'll give them that one first, because I think that's why they did red light, green light in Squid Games.
First,
like,
I was just trying not to pick that one first, just because I know that they did that one first. But I feel like a platform game, you know, it also depends on how you design the platform and what it looks like, because you may not know what's underneath until the platform opens up.
Yeah, or we don't even have to do the red light, green light. What if they do an escape room first, and then it looks fun, you know, escape room, you find clues, but those clues are actually deadly. They go through the wrong door.
I mean, you could make a whole thing around an escape room. Like, you make mistakes and it costs you. And then we could keep the same amount. Because, wait a second. hold on, let me just throw out another idea for a whole thing where it's like
Yeah.
these friends of vegetables, let's say, we're going to an escape room session. Keep the same thing with the canvas. Um, and we can work swipe in there somewhere like you swipe something is swiped. And as they play the escape room, it's like in a real escape room. It's not just for fun. You know, they think it's for fun. They think they're there to have fun, but for mistakes, some of them, you know, one by one, they start getting killed off, and it's like see if they can make it to the very end and get out of the room alive.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that way, you don't
Yeah.
even need. So like the whole thing takes place in an escape room. Um,
Hmm.
you know, that might be interesting. And you can still keep, so instead of all this other stuff, it's just an escape room. And you can still keep everything we have.
Yeah.
Obstacles have
Now,
to change. Like we have to really kind of format an escape room.
how many rooms? I've never done an escape room.
Oh,
How many
I
rooms
mean,
are in an
some
escape
of
room?
them are elaborate. It could be, you know, I think the most I've been in is they're usually somewhere around like 3 or 4 rooms for like a decent sized one. But don't forget, we can make as many rooms. But the thing is, when you get to those bigger rooms, they usually have you like there's multiple things that need to get done in that same room. That way, not everyone should be looking for the same exact thing. They should be focused on, hey, like we need to find this color because so for example, this escape room I was in had like very Russian overtones, like stop the missile before it launches. And so like one person's trying
Hmm.
to find a code. So you find a clue and you're trying to find a code. Then the next people are trying to find the lock to unlock a desk or a box so that they can get part of another part of the code. And you kind of have to work together in this room. I know we can have it where like if they fail or they like sometimes it's actual like number codes. So it's like if they put in the wrong code, they get zapped or it's like
No, no,
this
no.
game they shoot them.
All right. I just had an idea. Um, Inspiration for other type shows and movies like this. So let's say they're all in an escape room, and they're all strapped around their neck or whatever with a thing that will only unlock if they put in the right code.
Okay.
But if they put in the wrong code, it blows up and kills them. Or if they try to escape,
Dog collar.
yeah, yeah. Except it's an explosive. So if they try to escape, it'll blow up and kill them. Or if they put in the wrong code, it'll blow up and kill them. That way, when it comes down to getting like the last number or so, and they have to fight each other, pick like who tests the first number,
Yeah. Okay. I like that. All
and
right.
then
I think
each
you.
room
Yeah.
is like they have to find the lock, the sequence to the lock in succession.
And just so you know, sometimes it's a lock to like in real escape rooms. Sometimes it's a lock to a cabinet. Sometimes it's a code that you need to punch in on a computer. It's like just think about all the ways that you can show like represent numbers, right? So like sometimes I had to find a code somewhere in like a briefcase. So I had to unlock it, the briefcase, and then find the code, decipher like what the actual right code is, and then punch that into like a keyboard. Hit enter. If you get it wrong, like I play these games, get it wrong, it turns red. Well, that right there, collar goes off. That's sort of like the collar idea is sort of like Cloud Atlas for like the cloned like worker women. They have like a collar on,
Yeah.
and then if they get wrong, there's like a thing out of the collar that like or if they do something they're not supposed to do, the person presses the button and then like it like shoots them with a metal rod or something like that.
Oh God.
Something like this. But or like zaps them. But yeah, I think and it starts off innocent enough, like maybe
Yeah.
maybe this person finds someone on zucchini and then they go out on this like adventure. They're like, hey, join me and my friends to this escape room for fun. We heard about it through X, and then the mayhem begins.
Yeah. 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 Maybe his boy is like, hey, I found you a nice vegetable girl. Come out with me on a double date. She'll bring some friends. I'll invite some other people. We'll do this cool escape room.
Right. Okay. So let's do. I think we can kind of start writing. So
Yeah.
we have basically we start off with something innocent enough. Broccoli on a mobile device, swiping through, making a selection, right? It's like your everyday thing, right? He is home and looking at what do we say? Red onion.
Red onion.
Red onion. They are swiping past options of other vegetable people
Other
and
veggies.
what do you call it when and they match with Mexican tomato?
Is our main character a male or female?
I put it as female.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she matches with
Mr. Tomato.
Mexican tomato dude, or musclehead dumb carrot dude.
Musclehead carrot.
Jim Bro carrot.
We'll go Mexican tomato, and then you know what? Musclehead carrot dude will just be a friend of onion or cabbage. That brings them all out.
Okay.
All right. So
avocado.
So what we'll do is we'll do some jumping here, right? So they match. They go on. They talk all the time, day and night, while they're at work. Just a setup.
Should we give these vegetables names or no?
We can if we have enough time. But they talk all the time, day and night, while they're at work. And basically, what I'm doing is just creating a through line of like they're getting to know each other, but they haven't seen each other in person until he comes, right? So it's like one day. There's always then one day, then one day. So who's it? Avocado?
Yeah, avocado.
Avocado seems trustworthy. Tells Broccoli she's planning an escape room with some friends. She come and she should come, and that's fine. Broccoli, just kind of stringing it all together. Broccoli asks if
is the coordinator.
Well, Avocado's a coordinator. Broccoli is going to ask if
Avocado's coordinator.
Yeah, Broccoli is going to ask if she can bring Mexican tomato, the hot tomato from. Okay, but you know what? It could probably be something. All right, her friend says, sure. Okay. And just for the sake of understanding, we're just assuming that Mr. Tomato, Hot Tomato, or whatever, agrees to this.
I feel like he should be a chili pepper now.
Fuego. Okay.
Because I feel like when I imagine a tomato character, it's like an innocent older gentleman character that's just trapped in there with them. I don't know why.
This man said, but chili is not innocent. Come on now. So we'll make onion a tomato. Yeah, that makes sense?
Yeah. All right.
Okay. Because we already have red onion as the name, so we won't confuse anyone else with having an actual onion right now. Okay. So it'll be like red chili or chili pepper, tomato. Okay. So just for the sake of keeping it short, broccoli and chili pepper. Chili pepper wants to go.
Yep.
Or agrees to go on this first date. Excitement. They're on the date. They meet out front and introduce themselves for the sake of keeping it interesting. Maybe Avocado's like the ringleader. Maybe Avocado just has its new date, like tomato or carrot. There you go. Avocado
carrot.
Yeah. And then maybe we never met cabbage and tomato before, right?
Yeah. Right.
Avocado is
so cabbage is dating tomato. So it's like a
yeah. Okay, yeah. Because avocado is dating carrot.
That's right.
And cabbage.
This sounds more bizarre the more I talk about it. Like every time I say something about it, my mind is like, what are you talking about?
I'm trying to keep it all together, but just making it in terms of people. It's just a drama thriller. It starts off like any drama, thriller, mystery. Okay, so we have this. All right, go inside. They are met by. I feel like it's like who would put on such a. Maybe we still have the rabbit or something. It's like who would put on such an evil thing? You know what I mean? Like who would do such an evil show?
It could be a rabbit.
But yeah, it could be a rabbit, and that could be something. I mean, it's a small little rabbit in here, but it could be a rabbit, and it could be something that we could put together.
A
Just like
rabbit?
any other stories, interruptions.
Yeah, a rabbit or a parakeet or something. Some like or a squirrel. Some like evil,
An
some
evil
like evil
squirrel,
small critter animal that's evil.
a raccoon.
A guinea pig.
Oh, even smaller.
Guinea pigs.
Yeah, and they
Guinea pigs eat. Yeah, they eat.
and they're very unsuspecting because they're like people's pets and they think they're cute.
That's right. No one would ever suspect a guinea pig.
I would. I was just guinea pig. Met by a cute guinea pig. Okay. Here's the question. Here's the main question, right? Is every time you go to the escape room, they have like a very specific like escape room. Like I think like they have themes is what I'm getting at. So like the one I did was like a countdown for missile launch and you had to figure out these codes, right? So like what theme should our escape room be? I think I've been in one that was like a pirate based one. I've been in a James Bond like 007 one with like a little casino table and bar, and so on. So we can have a theme around it too.
Should it be? Well, the theme is just a front,
like,
right?
Yeah, exactly, 100%. Yeah, it's just to make the game more interesting. It's just some of them are like more space related, like Escape from Mars, let's say, or like
Let's just say for the context of what they're doing, there's 3 couples there. Let's say it's like some love based thing.
Ooh,
it's like
okay, but
escaped.
Find the cheater.
Escape with your soulmate. Escape with your soulmate's soul.
It could be like survive the night, survive the soulmate night.
Maybe the selling point is like you see if it's a match between you and your partner that you're doing this with.
The theme is like one of those love game shows back in the day that we all laughed about. Finally find the match, or it could be a game show that let's say in this world they also have.
We could have done that if we were going to go that route. It would have been easier if these characters signed up for a game show, a love game show, but it's actually a deadly one.
So instead, what if it's just escape room that maybe they take from that show? I don't know. We were just talking about. I can't remember it.
Saw?
No. The TV show that's a game of survival. The Korean
Squid Game.
Squid Game. So it's a Squid Game inspired, Squid Game themed escape.
All right.
Like cute guinea pig that welcomes them to the escape room building, whatever it is, escape room building, and tells them they signed up for the escape room themed show. Escape room themed room. It's not called escape room. It's called Squid Games.
Squid Game themed escape room.
Yeah. Okay. Because then it also opens the door to we could add things in there that are Squid Games based, and it comes with those kind of consequences too. All right. So
yeah, I feel like there should be other side characters in there with them. We don't know who they are. They're just like other participants that are just in the same room.
And they could be.
They get killed off first, so our main 6 kind of stick together.
Yeah, it could be like a large room because sometimes they do that, right? So if say you have a group of 6, sometimes they'll say, okay, this room can take up to 10 people, and so there could be two other couples or 2 other friends or 4 other friends in there, and then we can have that play out. The couples are met with 4 other participants who are happy and can't wait to escape.
They're ready to get started.
That's right. Okay. So the guinea pig is going to take them all. Let me see if I can. Yeah. So the guinea pig is going to take them all to the room and tell them the instructions.
They have to put on this collar to make sure no one's cheating.
That's right. Yeah. To track them. So they all have to put on a collar to track their progress in the game.
Ooh. Or they get handcuffed to their partner, but so
like at the end, is it like to survive kind of deal?
Well, Well, I think
Because they're
only one
handcuffed.
can
I mean,
survive.
so eventually they handcuff
One can
them off.
survive. I think the last game will be like to sacrifice one their partner or something. The most evil vegetable squid games ever.
When we used to play, they used to. You ever play like I don't think it's called barrel run or something like this, but they used to tie your feet together, and then they put a sack. You put both people they tie their ankles or leg, and then they put a sack where both legs. So it's like your leg, so my right leg, your left leg, tied together, and then a sack where both our those legs go into. Then we have to run down the field. Do you ever play that game before? It's like an obstacle course usually.
No,
Like
I think I know what you're talking about.
yeah, but like they could have.
I did the one. Yeah. I think I know what you're talking about.
Their legs could be tied, right?
Should we add that, or we could just have it so both their collars are like linked or something? Not like physically linked, but like
paired off with like a color, like one collar and another collar would be the same color. Okay, they had to put on colors to track progress in the game. Collars will be linked to one another via a color. This is just so you know who you are matched with. Kevin, it would be interesting. So they might start off with their pairing, but they tell them at some point your caller may match with someone else. That means they are in that particular room or whatever. They are your partner. Don't forget to take a look and go rematch up with your other person. So that means the couples might be matched up with some of the randoms or whatever the case might be, and then they see someone perish or whatever that they love or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
The collars may change color during a game, so pay attention. This is like the announcements. This game paying for the instructions.
Throwing some wrenches in the game. Yeah.
That's right. I'm trying to think of and then all the regular stuff. Look out for clues and things that move. And remember to work on separate clues in order to escape the room before the timer. That's another component, is that you have to try to get this done before the timer goes off.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They are now in the room getting. They have no idea what they're awaiting for the timer to begin and the game starts. They stand next to their partners. All of a sudden, a beeper goes off and the timer begins to count down.
So they have a time limit to escape the room.
Yeah.
Just the whole thing, or just the room they're in?
The whole thing. So it'd be like you have an hour and 10 minutes to get through all the obstacles. Okay. So now we have stuff we're going to throw at them. Just for reference of where we are with ours. We're at 34 minutes. So first obstacle, and I think we can kind of pull in some obstacles we were kind of talking about.
I think the first obstacle, since they're in a room now, should be something like choose a door or something. Something like simple, but there's something deadly. There's something deadly on the other side.
So there could be 5 doors.
Mm-hmm.
Each pairing has to line up in front of a door. There's 2 ways to go about this. It's either like you attempt to open the door and the door doesn't open, then you're stuck. I don't know what would happen, but that's one option. All the doors could open; they could go to the other side, and I'm not sure what they see or what they don't see, but that's another option. Or it doesn't have to be 5 doors; it could be like 2 doors. So all the selecting door does is allow you to move on to the other room. So whichever room the other vegetables go into, they could hear like the horror eventually from those other vegetables, and then they start to get the idea that this isn't a regular escape room at that point,
Right. All right. Maybe it shouldn't be a door. Maybe it should be one door, and they have to answer. There was a multiple choice question, and there's like 5 options. And the option that they think is the answer comes with a key. They take that key and they unlock the door, and whichever key that is, each different key correlates to a different death sentence or the right answer one. So
do they all get to So for the first question, do they all get to answer it, or is it like?
Yeah, they should all get to answer
they answer it separately.
Well, as a
or
pair,
as a group, or
as a pair.
Okay.
So that way we could start killing off like two or three vegetable pairs.
Here's how we could do it. There could be a screen, so there could be one door, right?
Yeah.
There's a screen, and it asks pairing green for the collar color. They step up. Look at the screen, at the monitor. They ask the question. 4 options, 5 options, whatever show up. They say their option. Let's say that they get it. A little box, a little drop door just like opens up, and there's a key. They take the key. They go and unlock it. I think the first thing that the whole group should realize is realize that something might be a little miss, but it's not like a full-on thing. Is that pairing answers correctly, they go to unlock it, and then another group is like, oh, I guess we can all just make it to the door. And as they start to walk to the door, the collar shocks them. It doesn't harm them really, but it just shocks them. They're like, no, we have to go back. All right, so they get back in line. And then each one has to answer that question correctly. Or, I'm sure some won't, but you understand what I'm saying? So it's like, there's one door in front of them, and they monitor overhead. The monitor switches on. Don't forget, we still have to we worked in swipe, session, or vegetable. I guess this whole thing is a session, but canvas and grind.
Well, the grind is going to be the grinder.
Yeah. The monitor switches on and pairing, so green pairing to step forward and have to, and just make it faster so we don't walk to the door. Another pairing tries to make their way to the door. The line. Okay. And then we can pretty much say something like, all of them go and answer. We'll say like one gets wrong. So the last pairing, no, that doesn't make sense. Somewhere in the middle, it's like the second one should get wrong, and that puts fear because they see it happen in real time at that point. The first pairing doesn't know what happened, but the rest of them will see what happened, and then the fear begins. So,
all right, let's say there's four choices. One choice is they get a shock and they try again. The other 2 equals death, and then the last one is the right answer. So the first one, they get shocked.
Well, if there's a question, it's like, I guess depending on the question, it could have multiple right answers. Some more accurate than others.
I feel like it should be, one of those like stupid math riddle questions that everyone comes up with. Like, there's always like 4 common.
I'd be so upset if I got that, and the first person got like, what color is the sky? And then someone else got like, and then I got like a ridiculous math question. But it doesn't have to be fair. But like whatever happens, so let's just say this, like whatever happens to the second pairing, like they go to answer those questions, they get it wrong, and they can be taken out by their collar. And that's when the first time like the other 3 pairings see this.
Okay.
See this and panic. They try to get out. You have to do those little scenes in this horror films.
So
you can't get out.
Everyone has gotten different questions. And the first pair,
on the monitor,
it's all random.
Yeah, it's random. It's like out of the monitor is different questions.
It's all random.
As one gets it, they go through. Another one comes up, they get a different question. If they get it wrong, they're terminated. And I think the second pairing should go through it. So that way, it allows the rest of them to have fear in their heart, and then they have fear in their heart. What could happen? Of what they just saw. They try to escape, but they can't. The first parent doesn't see it, but now they can overhear something wrong. And so now they have fear in their heart of what could happen because they have no idea. It's the fear of the unknown.
How about, man, I just came up with an idea that might change the entire game.
What's that?
If each of them are getting different questions, maybe there's a screen. The screen shows different questions with different point rewards attached to it. The harder the question, the more points they'll get. And like if you get the question right, obviously you'll move on too. So I feel like
points like add up to something in the end, like because you get the most points.
Maybe you could trade in. You could trade in the points. You can trade in the points to unlock a number on one of the pin numbers on your collar. You have to get a certain number of points or something.
It's not bad. It's not a bad idea. However, I will say we are down to 23 minutes. I feel like one of these contestants in this. If it goes off, we're not done. We get
All right, hold on. So let's say if we rolled that, there's a screen. Let's say there's 6 pairs of couples in there. There's 6 questions on the screen. They all have to grab one. It's a free for all. There's points attached to it. There's these two power couples that think they're know-it-alls, so they grab the hardest one with the most points to it. One of the couples that have an easier question, the easiest one. The other random couple in there, they have the easiest question. They answer it wrong. They each get a shock, and they're like, "Oh," and they just laugh it off. Then this power couple has the hardest question. They answer it wrong, and their heads explode. Higher rewards, higher consequences.
Oh, I see. So, okay, if the points line up to helping you get the thing off your neck, it's like you can go for more points. But the only other thing is that at some point they might be like, all right, let's not go for high points and then just try to like win steady, which means you only get shocked if you get it wrong.
Yeah, but since this is a game of progression, it's a shock here. The next room, you might lose a finger.
We'll add the point system in. I'm going to start being kind of vague, but we'll add the point system in. We'll still do the same thing where technically the 4 pairings will make it through, and the second pairing gets killed. I mean, in the details that you have, we can run through those details of like they get shocked first. You know, it could probably even happen to the first couple. Like I said something about like the other parent tried to make a run for it and they get shocked. But instead, in the first pairing, they could go like choose like they're like more okay. Let's go even like lower points. Then they go for it. They get it wrong. They get shocked, and they're like, "Oh, guys, you know, blah blah, got shocked." Yeah. All right, they got the next question right. Then the second group, the second pairing is like, "Okay, I want all the points, as many points as I can get. I get it wrong, instant death."
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna put they shocked at first because they low points, and that's cool too because like the group also has to figure out like what like how like why did all of a sudden they get does low points mean they'll die, and then in the next thing they could think like okay if I go for lower points I get it wrong I won't die, but the concepts have now come up, you know what I mean? Yeah. And like they have to relearn that. Okay, interesting. So right now we're at 19 minutes. We gotta go ahead and do the grind. Get swipe, get vegetable, and canvas is what this evil guinea pig has been painting the whole time. But each session gets harder and harder. Each room in this escape session gets harder and harder. So so I was gonna say the rest move on to the next room. Right now we're down one pairing.
Down one pairing.
In this room, we see. So let's do the. They could do a tug of war, 4-on-4.
4-on-4.
The key. So the key is in the middle now of the tug of war rope. 4 sides. They have to do the tug of war. So they get the key over the line. And if they win, they grab the key. Yeah. Thing is with the point system. Oh wait, because that one was originally over like a platform itself.
Yeah.
So we can still do that. How do we incorporate the point system?
Whoever the 4 people that win the tug of war gets the most points. Okay, so let's up the stakes a bit in this room. Like up the stakes by a lot.
I mean, they're going to be grinded and put into a soup. But yeah.
So there's a tug of war over a grinder, and now they can see the grinder. It's running. It's cranking. Mac, the guinea pig, appears on a screen and tells them the rules. Says you can either play tug of war or you can flip a coin. If it's wrong, you get terminated. You die. Your head gets blown off. Or you could play a game of tug of war, win points, and move on to the next room. So there's.
So tell me. So besides the tug of war game, what was the other option? Like the first option that the guinea pig gives?
Flip a coin.
Ooh, I think this.
Yeah, you could do a 50-50, or you can pair up with another couple and try to do this tug of war against 4 others. So it's going to be 4 versus 4. We killed off 1 pair already, so they're gone. So it's an even
8, but it could be 4, right? So it could be 2 versus 2.
Yeah,
or
it could be a
or we
pair
can
versus a
split
pair.
one up. Yeah, they could try. They could try to do this coin, two
Yeah,
pairs.
let's say muscle carrot and avocado do the tug of war against the other unknown couple, and
We should have someone. So if there's two pairs, so there's four pairs left. So there should be 2 versus 2 at the end for the tug of war. So 2 pairs should be able either to make it or pass away. So let's say we eliminated already.
I think we had 6 pairs in the beginning. We killed one. Now there's 5 remaining, and then one pair can opt to do the tug of war.
We've had 10 altogether.
So one pair. So 4 of them have to participate in the tug of war. The other one has to flip a coin. So
here's what we can do, right? So this one is gone. This pair is eliminated because we have 5 pairs. Well, we originally had 5. We could add more.
Yeah.
So we could say this pair decides to do the flip a coin and they succeed.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So they pass for now. This pair tries to, and it gets instantly blown. Right. So then now we have 2 pairs, 2 versus 2. They can do tug of war, and then one will survive or not. And then
so is this where we start?
We'll have 2 pairs at the end, and we're raising the stakes. 2 pairs have passed away already.
So this is where we start killing off some of our main cast.
It might be time.
All right. So let's say the tomato and the onion of our original. No. The random pair, the random vegetable pair, flip a coin and they pass.
Yeah.
Tomato and red onion try to flip a coin and they get terminated. Now it's going to be chili pepper.
Hold on. We have.
Hold on.
Tomatoes with cabbage, I believe.
Tomato with cabbage.
Check. I'll tell you in a second here. So avocados, day and carrot, cabbage, and tomato. Okay. So because red onion is the platform, tomato and cabbage, they go to flip the coin.
I think broccoli and chili pepper should flip the coin too because they don't want to play tug of war and pull.
But maybe they don't go for. Yeah, maybe they don't go for all the coins, and because of that, instead of getting shocked. Oh.
Yeah, I think because of time sake, we just need to. There's no more shocking. It's just you die or you live.
Yeah, you got 11 minutes. We can. All right. So tomato, cabbage, they go to flip a coin, and
they instantly killed.
They want all the points.
Yeah,
they
flip
lose, and it comes up tails. Let's say
tomato and cabbage flip the coin.
Kill.
Now broccoli and chili pepper try to flip the coin too because they don't want to face off against avocado and carrot.
That's right.
And they want to let avocado and carrot pull the random person into the grinder.
Right.
So broccoli and chili pepper flip the coin and they win.
Right. Now broccoli and avocado.
And then avocado and Jim Bro carrot.
Yeah.
They play tug of war against a yellow onion and an asparagus stalk. And they pull those two into the working grinder below, where they see the 2 veggies get grinded into a pulp.
Right. In the next room, the monitor.
The next room now it's the 4 of them. I feel like this is where we can incorporate swipe, where they play a game of like what's that game where like you take something from someone and then you have to run away from the other team as long as possible.
Capture the flag.
Well, that's taking it back to your base. There's another game that's like keep away where I've played it in like multiplayer game.
Yeah.
Where like you have to swipe it. You have to swipe an item from the rest of the people playing, and then you have to be the one to keep it as long as possible, and whoever keeps it as long as possible wins. So they can play a 2v2 game of that, and they then go back and forth, and broccoli and chili pepper swipe the item from avocado and carrot, and they outlast them.
Okay, so this is what I have just to bridge some of the gaps. Is the next room turns back on for the survivors. They see guinea pig painting a picture of the random's death after tug of war into the guinea pig of this, which is to. So what are they capturing? Like keeping away.
It's just whatever. Like they can.
Okay.
It can be any item. It can be an olive.
Right. So which is
can keep them.
Or yeah, I'll just play this. Here, just read it word for, like tell me word for word, and I'll just plug it in into something. So like whoever
can hold on to this item, the olive, the longest wins. There'll be a
so basically
2-minute clock.
Yeah.
There'll be like a 5-minute clock or something. They have to both run to the middle and swipe the olive, and then it becomes a game of like cat and mouse.
Right, or just like barbaric. Like they get straight barbaric up in here, man.
Yeah, there's like toothpicks lying around.
If you get on the edge of the room, they run to the middle, and
there's weapons lying around now. There's toothpicks. There's whatever.
After they get the olive, weapons drop from the ceiling.
That's right.
They are. All right, we're down to 6 minutes. So at the end of this battle, what do we? I mean, are we only down to? We're down to only 2 pairings, so that would be broccoli and chili pepper.
Yeah, broccoli and chili pepper.
Tomato, cabbage. And tomato cabbage, right?
No,
they passed away.
Avocado and carrot. Avocado and carrot.
Okay. All right. So session is used, canvas is used.
We've used everyone. Now we just have to end the story.
Okay.
In an epic way.
Grinds and swipe. Do you swipe?
Yeah, you got to swipe the olive away from the other team.
All right, go. All right. Okay.
Now it's just chili pepper and broccoli. They think they've won Mac the guinea pig sick game.
So it's chili pepper and broccoli, avocado and carrot, which is like grimy because avocado is like his best friend.
That's right.
They get killed by. Gotta make it ruthless. They get killed by broccoli and chili pepper. They think they won. Okay, let's bring it home in least 5 minutes.
So
they think against each other to the end. It turns into Yu-Gi-Oh.
Now they have.
All right, I got you. They think they won. They go to the next door to try to open it. The door won't open, and maybe they have to fight each other.
They have to play a game against each other now.
Yeah,
the most dangerous game of tic-tac-toe they've ever played.
I like how simple.
The most dangerous game of checkers.
Yeah, and that could be another painting. But okay, they think they won, but the door, again, dangerously low. But the door opens to another room with a checker board in the middle of it. The monitor turns on, tells them.
Ooh, I got it. They're playing live vegetable checkers. So they're both at both. There's a chessboard or checkerboard in the middle, and they're both on the other ends. And the pieces are other innocent captured veggies that are just trapped there as pieces, as checker pieces. And they tell them to move and whatnot, and it happens automatically, and they gotta sacrifice pieces.
Okay. And I'll even say the guinea pig is watching and painting,
licking his lips at all the carnage.
Okay. All right. We have 2 minutes and 30 seconds. All right. So we all know that broccoli is going to win this.
Broccoli wins. Yep.
She's missing pieces. Broccoli wins the game. She's missing pieces, but alive. She reaches the last door and opens.
I have a.
Everything she opens it to find like a regular subway street or like a regular street, and she opens it and she's just like as if nothing happened. She's back in the real world, like a side door somewhere in the city.
And she has $10 million in her bank account now.
Finally, she's back in the city or whatever. Like she's back on the street. Everyone,
I have a kind of dark
juxtaposition. Everyone's going about their business, like happy and merry, and she's just like traumatized.
We could end it like, well, how are you going to end it? Because I have an alternate.
Keep going. We have the time.
My alternate ending is she opens the door and she comes into a room and everyone's giving her a standing ovation because there's like other. And the thing is, it's a never-ending game. So the person that bet on her to win is now free from the game. And now, instead of being a participant, she has to be one of the bettors. Now she gets to watch, but she gets to bet on the next group of veggies and pick her winner. And if her veggie wins,
she can be free.
That's how she gets free.
I like that. 10 seconds. All right, there's the timer. There's the timer.
Vegetable, good game. Oh my god. Now free.
She doesn't need to forget with her money. That's hilarious.
She must champion for the next.
Never in my wildest dreams did I think I'll make a vegetable Squid Games type stuff.
That's
Kevin,
why.
now we have to come up with the title. The most obvious title is Escape Room.
We can call it Red Onion Games.
Ooh, could just be The Room, Red Onion. It could just be called Red Onion. I feel like that alone is kind of like interesting. Like it's intriguing. Like just Red Onion. Like, what does that mean?
Yeah, all right. The Red Onion. Red Onion.
Yeah, and that could be the name of the group, man.
That's true. Well, we could say the whole room is sponsored by the Red Onion, the dating app. It's like, it's literally a funnel to get people into the game. The Red Onion. Never have I ever thought that I would create a murderous battle royale story with vegetable characters. But that's why we do this. I accidentally erased the words. Is it session, swipe, grind, or the other two?
Vegetable and canvas.
Vegetable and canvas, right.
That's hilarious.
All right. Should we narrate this?
I think we shall. So we have our title. Yeah. Let's go ahead and do our narration.
Do you want to start? You want me to start? All right.
I'll swing it over to you somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
All right. So just to recap for everyone, our words were session, canvas, vegetable, swipe, and grind. If you follow along, we have this murderous tale, something reminiscent with vegetables. So I hope, without further ado, we'll go ahead and start reading our outline here. We start off on a beautiful, pleasant day in the city with Miss Broccoli, who's home on her phone looking at Red Onion. Red Onion is similar to a Tinder in this world. She's swiping past options, which are other vegetables, and she ends up matching with Mr. Chili, because Mr. Chili Pepper, has swiped yes on her before. They spend all day and night talking all the time, even while they're at work, while they should be asleep, while they're with their family. They're building a relationship, but they haven't seen each other in person yet. Then one day, Miss Broccoli's best friend Avocado tells Broccoli she's planning an escape room adventure with some friends, just so that way they can connect more, and that she should come. Broccoli asks if she can bring her new date, if you will, Chili Pepper, and others will show up like Hot Tomato. I think that's the old one, but they'll ask if Chili Pepper can come. Of course, Avocado says sure, he can come. Chili Pepper obviously agrees to go on this first date, and there's nothing but excitement and anticipation in the air. On the day that they go to the escape room, everyone's in good spirits. They're meeting each other for the first time. Some of them meet each other for the first times. Avocado is bringing her date carrot. Cabbage is dating tomato. Everyone's getting to know each other. Nothing but smiles all around. They go inside, and they are met by a cute guinea pig who seems to be just a worker that welcomes them to the escape room building and tells them that they signed up for the Squid Games themed room. At this time, the other couples are met by 4 other participants who are also coupled up. Everyone's excited to get into the room. As they get into the room, the guinea pig tells them all that the room. She takes them into the room and tells them the instructions. She explains the point system and tells them they have to put a collar on their neck that tracks their progress in the game. The collars will be linked to one another via color, just so they know who they're matched with. But the collars may change colors during the game, so pay attention. Of course, they have to look out and play the games. And that's part of the things that we might have changed a little bit, but as we currently have it, is they have to look for clues and things that move. They are now in the room, smiling, giddy, waiting for the timer to begin at the top of the door and for the game to start. They stand next to their partners, which is also indicated by the color of their collar. All of a sudden, the beeper goes off. The timer begins. The countdown begins. One of the pairs goes up to the door, which has a monitor up overhead. The monitor switches on and tells color green to step forward. They are given a question with multiple choices, and if they are correct, they can pass through the door. If they are correct, the key will also drop down. This pairing decides that they all need to get a lot of points. They try answering the question the first time, but get shocked because they were wrong. They think it's cute or funny, turn around, tell them they got shocked. Everyone seems still to be in good spirits. They go ahead and answer the question correctly. The key drops down. They take the key, open the door, and they are free to move on. Kevin? If you want to take it from this point.
Okay, so the second pair goes up to the screen. This is the blue collars. So they get a question, or they get choices for questions. Each question has a point, a point reward attached to it. So because, they think they're all that, this certain couple, this certain pair, they choose the hardest question. It's a math question. And the question is, I was looking at it, it's using only eights, add eights until you get to the number 1,000. So obviously they think they're smart. They think they have the right answer. They come up with their answer. They're confident in it. They submit it. A big X crosses the screen, and they don't feel shocked. Instead, they feel a sudden burst of pain, and their heads explode. Their veggie juices are splattered across the room, while the other pairings are looking at in horror. Now, they realize the consequences and the severity of this game. It's no longer a game. So the others go up, pick a question. They try to aim for smaller, lower point questions, and they get it right. So they move on to the next room. The screen drops down. Mr. Guinea Pig is on the screen again. He explains the rules to the second room. He says, now there's 4 of you now. Based on the points that you accumulated from the previous room, you'll have to participate in one of 2 games. The 2 lowest point scorers, which include Avocado and Carrot, and the other random pairing, since they chose the easiest questions and got them right, you will both now have to play a game of deadly tug-of-war. The other 2 pairings, since you have a higher scored questions from the previous room, you get to flip a coin. If you get a heads, if you call it right once on either flip, you can pass on to the next room. So tomato and cabbage, they start their flip. They each got to choose one. So tomato says head, tails never fails, flips it, comes up heads. Cabbage says heads always shreds, flips it, it comes up tails. And that is when tomato and cabbage are terminated immediately. Now, chili pepper, he says heads never shreds, flips it, coin gets flipped, comes up tails. Now broccoli, what does she choose? She also goes heads, coin gets flipped, lands, and it's heads, so they get to pass. Meanwhile, avocado and carrot versus the 2 random veggies on the other end. They're both on the edge of 2 platforms. There's a grinder running in between them. So whoever wins this game of tug-of-war survives, while the other 2 gets grinded into a smoothie like this. So the game begins, they're pulling back and forth, and then eventually carrot and avocado muster up the strength to pull the other veggies over the edge, and they watch in horror as the 2 veggies fall into the grinder and gets grinded into a pulp. A clapping sound effect echoes the room. Mr. Guinea Pig says, You passed. Now it's on to the next game. All right, you want to explain the next game, Dave?
Okay. In the next room, the monitor turns on, and they see the guinea pig painting a picture on the canvas of the random's deaths into the soup. The guinea pig tells them the rules of this game, which is whoever can hold on to the olive the longest wins. However, there is a 5-minute clock that they need to hold on to this olive. It only seems like 5 minutes, but this will be the longest 5 minutes of these vegetables' lives. They will begin at the edge of the room. They'll make their way to the middle, swipe the olive, and the game will begin. At that exact moment, as they reach the middle of the room and swipe for the olive, weapons drop down from the ceiling. Everything from machetes to maces, bows and arrows, spears, samurai swords fall from the ceiling. Avocado and carrot end up getting killed by their best friend, broccoli and chili pepper. Even though chili pepper's new, but broccoli kills avocado. Heart-wrenching stuff. Broccoli has the will to survive. They think they have won. They think they are done and over, and both of them will be able to walk out. They reach the door, they open the door, and in the middle of this room, with lights shining down directly on it, innocently enough, they see a checkerboard and 2 chairs. They get to the checkerboard, and as they look upon the checkerboard, they see that the pieces are live, smaller vegetables. The monitor turns on and tells them they will need to play against each other in a game of checkers. Winner survives.
Mm-hmm.
Guinea pig loves what it's seeing, licking its lips at all the best carnage seen throughout this day. Broccoli ends up winning this game. She's missing pieces of her body, but has survived long enough. She reaches for the last door, and as she opens it, thunderous applause awaits her. She walks into the room bewildered. Why there's so many others clapping for her in this room, seemingly put together in nice clothes. They tell her that now that she's made it, she's getting all this reward money. The person, one vegetable, randomly walks over to her and shakes her hand and tells her she has just freedom from this hell. Confused, she asks why. I thought they were all free. And it's explained that the last and final game to make it out of this place is if your character, if the person you're betting on wins overall, and he
That's
has
right.
been betting on her the entire time, and now he gets to leave, and now she gets to bet on the next group coming in, starting the cycle all over again.
Now Broccoli needs to choose her champion, and it ends by her patron, her bettor, taking off his Mardi Gras looking mask and giving it to her because she has effectively taken his place. And now she's not a participant. Now she's an observer of the Red Onion games.
Sick story.
Oh my god. That was hilarious.
That is the end of our story with session, canvas, vegetables, swipe, and grind. I don't know how we got that story out of that, but we did.
That is the Red Onion. You heard it here, folks.
That's right. And now, Kevin, since we told our story, it's time to see what AI generates.
It's time to see what the AI spits out. That's right. And I am so curious.
Oh,
this time it might have a chance because I feel like we chose this story just to challenge ourselves and for fun.
Yeah, it's like we were saying before, like thriller horror stories, it relies on the last thing and like the details to propel it forward. And when you only have so much time, you can't really focus too much on the details. Just enough to get you to the next thing.
That's right. Let's see. Got to sign in. Okay. So let me share my screen here. Can you make a Squid Game type story using vegetables as the main characters? Also, please incorporate session, swipe, grind, and canvas as themes or words in the story itself. Have bold deaths occur and make it and have a tragic ending. There you go. That should be specific enough to come up with an interesting story. Will this AI succeed? Oh, I said sure.
I wonder if it knows what Squid Games is.
I can already tell this is gonna be like a cookie cutter like tournament story or something like that.
Yeah.
All right, so let me read this. So, in the bustling vegetable market, a group of eager young vegetables were preparing for the annual Squid Game tournament. The tournament was a fierce competition that tested the skills and speed of the participating vegetables as they tried to outmaneuver each other on the canvas and swipe their way to victory. Among the competitors was a determined young eggplant named Eggy, who had been practicing and grinding for months in preparation for the tournament. Eggy was determined to win, but was convinced that this would be his year to shine. As the tournament began, the vegetables took the canvas with fierce determination. Eggy was off to a strong start, making quick work of his opponents with his swift and agile moves. He was in the lead, and it seemed like nothing could stop him. What are they playing? But as the tournament progressed, things began to take a turn for the worse. Eggy's opponents were getting smarter and more strategic, and Eggy found himself struggling to keep up. Despite his best efforts, he began to fall behind, and it seemed as though his dreams of victory were slipping away. Desperate to catch up, Eggy began to take risks pushing himself harder and harder in each session. But unfortunately, his determination was not enough. In a tragic twist of fate, Eggy suffered multiple deaths on the canvas, falling short of victory in the end. So Eggy has a superpower where he can come back to life. As the tournament came to a close, the other vessels gathered around Eggy, offering their condolences and support. Though he had fallen short of his goal, Eggy's bravery and determination had inspired them all, and they knew he would always be remembered as a true champion. Okay, so one, I think one of the flaws in this AI at this point in time is that it's not very creative. I think with others, when we gave it like more of a cookie cutter prompt, it was able to come up with a more elaborate story. But this time we gave it a monkey wrench and we told them to make the vegetables characters.
I think, and also like it misses, don't get me wrong, I mean, we missed details too, but it missed some pretty crucial details as to like what was actually happening and why is it mysteriously coming back to life after dying.
Yeah, they forgot to mention that eggplant had a what's it called, a reincarnation superpower.
Right.
That had no idea. Right, and I had no idea what they were playing to begin with.
Right. I was thinking boxing actually after the canvas. I was like, I wonder if they're thinking about boxing. I don't know. Too vague.
That is a canvas too.
Yeah. Which I totally didn't think about when we were doing our thing, but interesting. I think it's safe to say our story will win. We keep our jobs. We beat AI. I'm curious what the audience thinks though.
Yeah. We keep our jobs for another day. Let us know which vegetable story you like the most. Let us know if we should clean up this vegetable story and make it into something more put together. But this is the last episode for 2022. We're going to start off 2023 next week strong. So thank you for watching and have a happy new year, guys.